Be aware of what's taking place in this country. Be absolutely aware. My internet signal is totally gone, and I'm still here talking to you. But I want you to understand something. God is in control. God is in control. Have you noticed that with the situations going on in this country, how certain people are absolutely silent as mouse? Sometimes rats make a noise. I heard one last night. There are things that are taking place in this country. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. There's good things that you can do. Teachers of righteousness. Whosoever therefore shall break out one of these least commandments and shall teach men so. In other words, are you teaching men to do what's right? Are you teaching men to do what's wrong or evil? Shall teach men so shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, then shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Having declared law fulfilled in his personal ministry, Jesus now issued a dire warning for those who continue to follow the law. It is not for them to pick and choose what commandments to keep. They should not honor teachers who degrade the full impact of the law. How many congressmen and senators is taking what parts of the law that they want to put in effect and denying the other parts of the law? The law must be taken as a whole, and those who break even a small commandment are guilty of breaking the entire law. Jesus teaches that the rewards and recognition from God in the kingdom of heaven depends on this consistency. Here's the thing about that. There is no reward here on earth now. There is no reward here on earth. Your reward is to come. Your reward is to come. I am totally in the understanding that since the law is fulfilled in Jesus and his teaching, this verse must point to him. He does not offer a amoral, or careless approach to living a God-pleasing life. This is hitting me slap in the face personally on my behavior as a person. The law reveals the moral obligations of God's people. The moral obligations of God's people. Think about when we elected President Donald Trump. When I say we, I'm talking about me who voted for Hillary Clinton and you who voted for Donald Trump or voted for somebody else. I'm talking about all America. When I say we elected President Donald Trump to be president of this United States, become the 45th president of the United States. He does not offer a moral, or careless approach to living a God-pleasing life. We threw away all the moral and different things that we had in our mindset when we saw and heard Donald Trump do all these things. It didn't make no difference. We thought that the big rich man was going to make some kind of outstanding impact on our life, and he is making an outstanding impact on your life, but it's not having the effect that you think it has. Some of the black folks, some folks going around, black folks crazy not supporting Trump when they got so many of them working and all kinds of stuff like that. You better look between the lines and understand what's taking place in this country. You better understand who's getting the money and who's got the money. In fact, money and all those other things is not about nothing. It's about your serving and helping other fellow men. The law reveals the moral obligation of God's people, and we must pay attention to its principles in light of our faith in Jesus. Later, Jesus teaches that the entirety of the law of Moses and the prophets is summed up in two principles: love God and love people. Love God and love people. How many of you are loving God and loving people? How many of you have just got on the bandwagon with President Donald Trump and just ride right along? How many of you made a difference in any kind of way? I look for people that reach out beyond themselves But yet and still, I have a couple of friends that I communicate with. I just don't understand their silence of what's taking place. I do understand it in a way, and then again I don't. God is still in control. God has still got things in this world. What is happening is not happening in a vacuum. He does see what's going on. Matthew 22:36 through 40. When we live this way, we honor every jot and tittle of the law, even as we realize that certain aspects of it apply only to Old Testament Israel. God says not one jot of his word will pass, but all the things that he said in his word coming to pass. If he said it, it's going to be true and it's coming to pass. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. Let's talk about the scribes and the Pharisees in the old days. They were emphatic about the law, and they wrote it to benefit themselves. Who is a Congress and then the Senate and representing that are writing laws to benefit themselves? Who? And then one of the things I'm going to talk about is this issue of abortion. People saying things and doing things, thinking it's somehow going to get them a vote. Oh, my goodness. You shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. You got to, if all the people around you are behaving and doing some of everything and you doing the same thing, what do you think, what effect do you think that's having on you? That's not benefiting you. That's of harm to you. You got to go beyond the evil that is around you and that you see. You got to live different. You can't be like the person that has the child separated from the parents and not allowing them to have water or whatever it is, they bathe or whatever thing that they're saying are taking place. Some people are doing the right thing. Some people are not. The verse features the second of 22 concordance. The hearers assume the righteous is determined by adhering to the law of Moses. Religious leaders are a prime example of men who keep the law. Look at the people that we have in the past, regardless whether they're black, white, or whether they were. I kind of believe that they were somehow different, but they are riding with President Donald Trump, Dobson, and other people. They're riding with him. I'm telling you, they are riding with him. They don't care one bit about what's taking place in this country. They don't care one bit. They are for him. They want him to do what he's doing. And they're loving it. They're absolutely loving it. Can't you see they are loving it? But you can make a difference. You can absolutely make a difference. Let's go ahead on. I'm going to let it shine. Listen to this. The Pharisees also figuratively, prominently in this gospel, Matthew 3 and 7, 9, and 4. There are a group of Jewish men who attempt to keep the law of Moses down to the tiniest detail. They are not paid for their effort, but the law keeping is done publicly and gains them great respect among fellow Jews. Paul himself was a Pharisee, as was his father, Acts 23 and 6, Philippians 3 and 5. He describes the Pharisees as the most strictly set. Let's talk about a comparison of the Pharisees and Republicans and conservatives. Republicans and conservatives have enclosed themselves with they care about everybody and conservative everything, and that what they do is right. They have made the point that liberal people, Democrats, a person of democratic persuasion, are somehow wasteful in throwing away everything that exists, and they, as conservatives, are the perfect fit for what is taking place. That's why they're absolutely silent now on what's taking place, because they believe what's taking place is going to be beneficial to them to get back in control, keep control of government. Look what is happening at the Supreme Court level. Look what McConnell did when President Barack Obama had the opportunity to select somebody for the Supreme Court. They held it up for over a year. How is that right? How is that right? They believe what they were doing is right, and they didn't care one way or the other about what his responsibilities were as president to select someone and appoint somebody to the Supreme Court. That was the right thing to do. Do the right thing, and God will take care of the rest. But what they did, they went all out of their way to prevent him from doing what he rightly supposed to do. But in the hands of President Donald Trump, it's okay. You don't have to do what is right. How about income tax? You let me or you not file. He may be filing tax. Let us. The income tax information that regarding you won't get that same benefit that he's getting. I dare say you would not get that same benefit. Just as Judaism, Acts 20:65, claimed that in his life as a Pharisee, he was without fault when it came to keeping the law. He was righteous within his limit. Philippians 3:6. Paul would not be alone among the Pharisees in this boast. That's the same way Trump feels now. He believes he's absolutely right. He believes he is absolutely right. There is nothing I can't do. There is nothing that America can do. I do what I want to. I am the President of the United States. I do just what I want to. You have no bearing on what I do. I can say and do anything. Remember, he said when he was running for office that he could go down in New York City and shoot somebody, and they wouldn't do nothing about it. He is absolutely right. They would do nothing about it. A message for America in July with yours truly, Howcee Radio, BEATRICE, Alabama. You shall also love the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Do any of you know anything about the Bible? Day 899 in America. Day 899 in America. All right. We are going to close out this portion of the broadcast, and we hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that it was something that will cause you to turn your light on. Turn your light on. There is surely some overlap between these two groups, some scribes and Pharisees, and the sinning and the sinners of their relationship is strong. The Pharisees need the scribes to give them strict interpretation of the law so that they can follow it at every aspect. The scribes write the regulations, and the Pharisees can force them in their own lives. This situation results in legitimizing understanding of righteousness for religious relationship with God, separate from the relationship of God. The legalistic system in America. The legalistic system in America. What about it? What is taking place? Jesus proclaimed a new relationship with God, one honoring the law, but not based on keeping the law. How many of us honor the law, but you don't keep it? You honor it, but you don't keep it. The relationship must be bigger, much deeper, and results in righteousness far superior of that of the greatest Pharisees who ever lived. Think about this. All the things that is going on in this country, and you see wrong and different things, you got to be far beyond it in your behavior, in your action as a righteous person, as a person of Christ, as a religious person of the Christ, of the cross. a person that knows Christ.